it is important case at this point in time because why do we take 10 or so days at the Bomas of Kenya when election result had been announced at the polling station? Why these 10 other days? So the Bomas has not really served us as a country like what we would say this is great. Because if election ends, according to IBC, they start tallying at the polling station, they start tallying from the presidential vote going to these other votes. But that same presidential vote is what we go to Bomas for another 10 days, putting the country in this tension, waiting for them to actually. So it is an important thing, according to me. Then finally, this by-election should actually tell us something about the young people and the young voters in this country. If they are not going to show us those numbers they had on the street, then that whole street thing is going to be treated like it didn't change anything. But if it changed something in terms of thinking and going forward, then we should see those numbers. We know by-elections are always 40% turnout. Let this by-election have 80% turnout. That will be a game changer in terms of how the young people are going to react to the election.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe my viewpoint, first on the Omtata case, is that I think we tend to be struggling a lot in terms of once we know the results at the polling stations old. What we need to decide as a country, which is somehow now causes confusion, and I don't know how, is how do we transmit those results at the polling station to be reflected nationally, and we have a verifiable system of transmission. I think that if we can be able to handle that without politicizing the issue, then it's a very small issue. Coming up to the by-elections, I wish tomorrow there will be a peaceful by-elections, and from the results that we are gauging is that UDA will be able to pack the Mbeere seat and will be able to pack the Malaba seat.
Yeah, I shall slap you with an invoice for taking this opportunity on the platform to campaign for UDA.
Yes. So as I finish, what I know is that the president has an agenda for this country. You saw it during the State of the Nation address, what he was able to articulate in terms how we need to move this country from being a third world to a first world. And with that 5 trillion infrastructure bond that we are going to pass by when we come from the recess, this will be a game changer. This will inject the required trajectory to be able to make this country, and that's the most important.
Right.
In fact, the most important is not the elections. The most important is, in his time, the president was able to change this country.
Fantastic, thank you.
I think
no, we need to wind up. No, we need to wind up. We need to wind up. I think that is a topic for another day, and it will, of course, stimulate a lot of interest. We go beyond time, but 5 trillion shillings, I think that's an eye-popping figure. Yes. A lot of conversation around it and questions around it.
And
we can see, and we can see already the CBK governor is raising, issues to do with the threshold of. We are heading to a debt distress.
Infrastructure bond, we are not borrowing.
No, but even infrastructure bond itself, when you're going to it, people want to know, with this infrastructure, what is it warranting?
Become clear.
Why are we also selling some of our assets as well?
We shall be debating
double taxation in a way.
Let's just say, Singapore, here we come.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. David Kiplagat, Member of Parliament, sorry, thank you for joining us this morning. Kiba Mungai, Advocate of the High Court, and Meshack Odede, political commentator. We really appreciate your attention to, of course, the discussion that we had with you, very cogent. A lot of issues are arising right now, and we know tomorrow is a big day. We as TV47 will give you the whole story from the ground where we are at right now with our reporters. Of course, a wall-to-wall live, wire-to-wire live coverage that will be happening right from the ground, and just keeping our eyes peeled and keeping out our ears to listen into what will be happening tomorrow. Don't go away, much more is coming up on the other side of a break. Remember, today is Thanksgiving Day. We thank God for providentially being good to us. And of course, that is primarily happening in the US as well. But of course, it's a good tradition that they've held for the longest time. And we have something in studio. It's a surprise. So wait for it on the other side of a break with Anne. Odede.